week is the week number 4, and the week number 4 we talk about environmental problems. You know that environment, it's our surroundings, no? So it's like the places that are around us, medio ambiente. So when we talk about environmental problems, are the problems that are related with that part, with the ecological part, with the earth, no, with the planet, right? So here in this week, we're going to find a lot of different vocabulary related to those kind of problems, ecological problems, right? In this case, we have 3 columns, the column A, the column B, and the column C. First, it says point number 1, match the problems in column A with the consequences in column B. For example, traffic, and we are going to find what is the most common consequence of the traffic. Water pollution? Not really. Public violence? Could be, but it's not directly related. Lack of resources? Not really. Pollution? Could be, right? So I am going to match the problem with the consequence in the second column, okay?
Okay.
So using the pencil that it's here, the pen that it's right here, have you used it? ¿Lo has usado, Nat? La opción de escribir in the script. Okay,
Yes.
good. So you just have to match the problems in column A with the consequences in column B. Karina, no sé si ya llegó a la casita o are you arriving home, my dear? I think she's going to the house. So Nat, mientras tanto, tú please match the problems with the consequences in the second column, okay? If,
Okay.
if you have problems with vocabulary, tell me. I will help you with the vocabulary here.
Okay.
Very good. Intolerance causes the public violence.
I
Visual contamination, visual stress, of
uh,
course.
uh,
Okay, more clear for you. Visual stress. Anxiety and depression causes the rise in the suicide rates.
mm, I don't know what is poverty.
Poverty, it's the condition in which the person doesn't have money or resources for living, right? When the money is scarce.
Okay. Maybe it's like lack of resources.
Not really, because lack of resources is a cause of the poverty, but it's not the consequence, you know? The lack of resources is the consequence of another different problem. Lack of resources is falta de recursos, no? But that is the
Mm,
cause of the poverty, but it's not the consequence.
okay, maybe plastic waste with water pollution.
Yeah, of course. The plastic waste causes a lot of water pollution in the oceans and rivers.
And insecurity.
We're just
Poverty.
missing poverty and corruption. Exactly. Of course, the poverty causes a lot of insecurity because people who are poor, well, they have to find other different ways of getting resources. So they try to, get into illegal activities. And corruption, lack of resources. No, the corruption is the action in which governments, politicians start stealing money from the resources. So it produces a decrease in the resources that are public, no, usually.
Yes.
So in this case, we can say that this is the cause and this is the consequence. So we could say that this problem sometimes causes or produce or increase. No, we're going to have different verbs that we can use here. Do you know what is the meaning of increase?
Incrementar.
Exactly. Produce, it's very clear, and cause, it's basically the same as in Spanish, no? But this is
Mhm.
the way in which we do it normally. Subject, the verb and the complement. Simple, no? So, for example, the traffic produces pollution. Yes. The corruption causes lack of resources. Or the anxiety and depression increases the suicide rates. No, that's another possibility. So in this case, we want to emphasize the problem. We start the sentence with what is more important. If the problem is more important, we start with the problem. We say, no, the problem is that the traffic produces a lot of pollution. We are giving the emphasis to the problem. Sometimes I don't want to emphasize the problem. Sometimes I want to emphasize the consequence. So I start the sentence with the consequence. But if I start with the consequence, the sentence is going to change because in this case, the most important part is not the subject, but the object. In this case, we are going to use the passive voice, okay? Instead of saying that the traffic, let's do it here. A ver, wait a second, voy a borrar las respuestas tuyas. Listo, ready. So instead of saying, for example, that the traffic causes pollution, right? In that sentence, all the emphasis is on the subject. I said, okay, I want to emphasize on the traffic part, but sometimes I want to emphasize the pollution more, so I can change it. But if I change it, I have to use the passive voice. Remember that the passive voice is going to be a combination between the verb to be and the verb in past participle. This is the structure of the passive voice. So instead of using the traffic causes pollution, I am going to exchange it and say that pollution is caused, verb to be and the verb in past participle, by the traffic. Is exactly the same idea. What is the difference? That in this case, I am giving more emphasis to the object, to the consequence of the problem, and not to the problem itself, right? So maybe we are talking about a conference about pollution. I am not going to emphasize the traffic. I am going to emphasize the pollution, right? And then it's better to use the passive voice for saying that this problem is caused by the traffic, but the traffic is like a secondary character here. The most important one is the pollution, the consequence. So this is the passive voice that we know. Esta voz pasiva ya la conocemos más o menos. But today we are going to focus in the present continuous and the present perfect passive voice. Ready? So in the original sentence, I can say, for example, that the traffic is causing, present continuous, it's causing pollution because it's something that is happening every day. Ready? In that case, I am going to continue the present continuous. So I said pollution is being caused by the traffic. Está siendo causada. Why? Because the original sentence is in present continuous. So the passive voice also has to be in present continuous. Okay? So normally it's verb to be and ing. In passive voice is or are, being, and then the verb in past participle. Está siendo tan, causada, producida, incrementada, afectada, whatever.
It's
Ready?
not common in Spanish, right?
It's common when we talk about, for example, the news. Ready? For example, I said, la avenida Caracas está siendo intervenida por el IU, bla, 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 bla. Right?
Okay.
Good. Entonces, es común, Nata, cuando el objeto es más importante o más claro que el sujeto. Ready? En
Okay.
este caso, el sujeto yo sé cuál es, pero no me importa tanto como el objeto. Si estamos, como te decía, en una reunión sobre la polución y la contaminación, pues lo más normal es que ese sea el foco de toda la reunión, ¿sí? Entonces siempre le voy a dar el énfasis a eso, a pollution, ¿sí? Digamos, en esta oración,
Okay.
acá le estoy dando el énfasis es al traffic, pero a veces no es tan importante. A veces lo uso porque no sé por qué se está causando, no sé cuál es el sujeto. Example, por ejemplo, déjame usar acá, chan, chan, chan. For example, my dear, I am going to say that someone, I don't know who, someone is affecting the river.
Mhm.
The subject is not clear. I don't know who's the subject in this case. So better to change the order. So I'm saying the river is being affected. Está siendo afectado. By, puedo colocar by someone, pero pues no es necesario. Porque como no sé quién es ese someone, right? So I'm going to use, pero puedo omitir, sorry, simplemente decir the river is being affected. That's it. ¿Bien? Ese es el propósito de la voz pasiva, es darle énfasis al objeto de la oración. ¿Listo? En condiciones cuando el sujeto o no es claro o no es tan importante como el objeto. ¿Ready? ¿Mm?
Okay.
In this case, I am doing it with present continuous. But the other possibility, well, it's present continuous because it's happening right now. It's happening every day. But I can have other possibility in which I do it with the present perfect. When we use present perfect, it's because it's an action that has happened many times. And that's it, right? So it started in the past and possibly continue in the present. For example, politicians have stolen public resources, right? Politicians have stolen public resources. ¿Qué politicians? No sabemos exactamente, so it's not very clear. Better to give emphasis to what they have stolen. Es mejor darle énfasis a lo que se han robado. In that case, public resources. So I'm going to do it. Public resources have been stolen by politicians. Ready? So can do it with present perfect, like in this case, or with present continuous, like in this case. Depending on what? Depending on what you want. If you want to talk about something that is happening every day in this moment, I use the present continuous. But if I want to talk about something that has happened many times, I use the present perfect. Okay? Ready?
Okay.
Ahora, what is the key? ¿Cuál es la clave for talking about that? It's combining the verb to be with another verb in past participle. So we're going to see it here. It's getting the verb to be and then a verb in past participle, right? When it's present continuous, normally we have verb to be and ing, ¿cierto? Eso es normal, la voz activa, ¿ok? In passive voice is going to be el verb to be. Luego being, para decir cómo está siendo, and then the verb in past participle. Eso en present continuous. In present perfect es a little bit different. Normalmente uso have o has. Ahora lo hacemos con otro color. Wait, acá, aquí. Have or has, and the verb in past participle. Cuando hablo normal. But in passive voice, it's going to be have been or has been y the verb en past participle. Have or has been y el verbo en past participle. Para decir ha sido o han sido y el verbo en past participle. ¿Ready? Entonces, por ejemplo, aquí la oración original es illegal hunting, la cacería ilegal, have endangered different species. You know what is the meaning of endanger? ¿A qué te suena? Endanger.
Extinguido. I don't know.
Es un verbo que significa poner en peligro de extinción. No llegando
Mm.
hasta la extinción, sino antes de poner en peligro de extinción. ¿Vale? So, en ese caso, la cacería ilegal ha puesto en peligro de extinción diferentes especies. ¿Sí? Pero de pronto la persona quiere enfatizar más las especies que la cacería. So, in that case, I am going to do it the other way. Different species, lo primero que voy a hacer es pasar ese objeto al principio y usar la voz pasiva. Have been endangered as a result of the illegal hunting. ¿Ready? Entonces es girar la oración, poner el objeto primero y usar esa combinación. Have been y el verbo en past participle o is been y el verbo en past participle. ¿Listo? Más o menos, kind of. A little bit. Tranquila, don't worry. It's going to be easy. Una vez que lo entiendas, it's going to be very simple. Don't worry. Entonces, we said before here with another possibility that, for example, plastic waste, you say it, plastic waste is causing, todos los días, is causing water pollution. How can you transform this sentence into the passive voice?
Water pollution is being caused by plastic waste.
Perfect. The water pollution is being caused by the plastic waste. That's possible, right? Maybe I am not saying that happening right now. De pronto no estoy diciendo que es ahora mismo, right? Déjame que that's it. Vamos a ver acá, wait, necesito borrar. 1 second. Chan. Listo, that's it. Maybe I am saying that it's not right now, but it's something that has happened many times. I'm going to change it. I'm going to say that the plastic waste has produced water pollution many times in history. So how can you transform this one into the passive voice?
Water pollutions has been, I don't remember yet,
Yes.
has been produced by plastic waste.
Perfect. Water pollution has been produced by plastic waste. Ready? So it's just changing the words and including the verb to be. Ya sea been cuando es present perfect o being with ing cuando es present continuous. That's it.
Okay,
So,
but
right?
just to clarify,
Uh-huh.
I use the present continuous, only the present continuous with the action is in this moment.
Mhm.
And
And present perfect when the action has happened for much time or
okay,
has happened many different times, including now. Could be, no? For
and I'm
example,
not sure if happening in this moment. I don't know.
exactly. Yeah. Maybe I am not sure, or maybe I want to emphasize that it has been a long action. But when I use present continuous, it's because it's specifically in this moment the action is happening right now, right? But with the
Okay.
present perfect, maybe I can include that it's happening right now, but I want to emphasize that it's not just right now, that it has happened for a long time.
Okay.
Ready? Good, excellent. One more. For example, here we said that corruption was linked with the lack of resources. How can you create that one directly into the passive voice?
Lack of resources is is um is being causing
Cost.
caused is being caused by corruption.
Perfect. The lack of resources is being caused by the corruption. Okay? Or if you want to do it in present perfect, just lack of resources has been produced, increased, whatever, by the corruption. Ready?
Okay.
Good. Listo, Cari, creo que ya llegaste a la casa, Karina. Yes.
Es que estaba trabajando porque
Ah,
me toca hacer unas horas extra, pero yo estoy desde hace rato
ah,
súper pendiente de
I'm
ustedes, no
sorry.
se preocupen.
Listo, pero entonces te pregunto, yes, included into
Sí,
the, yes, listo, very good, excellent.
yes, you can make
Okay,
me questions about it.
of
I
course.
am ready.
Perfect. So, for example, previously we mentioned that the intolerance is related with the public violence. No, the intolerance is related to the public
Mhm.
violence. How can I relate that sentence in passive voice?
Public violence is being caused by intolerance.
Perfect. The public violence is being caused by the intolerance, right? Good. Now, normally we use by for talking about the cause of that problem, but it's not the only expression. We are going to have other expressions that
As a
we can
result.
use. Exactly, very good. We can use because of, we can use for, we can use by, we can use as a result of, we can use through, and we can use due to. Okay? All
Okay.
of them mean a raíz de o a causa de. Ready? Except for through. Through means a través de. And I use this expression when I want to emphasize that this action happens through other action. Ready? With ing. For example, the parks are being contaminated through drug consuming. Because the action of consuming drugs, it's contaminating the parts. So I can do it that, or I can express that using through and the action in ing. That's another possibility, right? Si es un sustantivo, if it's a noun, something, a person or another concept, I can do it with the rest, with for, with by, with as a result of, yeah? For example, the parks are being contaminated by drug users or drug addicts, for example. Ready? Not an action, but an object. Okay? But with this one, with this expression through, I can introduce another action as the cause of the other consequence or as the cause of the other problem. Got it? Kind of? Yes? Okay, very good. So over here,
So I don't understand so clear what is like the difference. I'm
don't
so
worry.
sorry.
Don't worry, no
It's
problem.
true. It's like, I don't know.
For example, we're going to have the sentence that society has been affected. Well, the society has been affected for many reasons, right? So, but for example, we can have here reasons like social media,
Mhm.
you know, but we can also use, for example, how do you say that? Consuming, or excessive consuming.
Mhm.
Yes. Also, we can talk about violence, you know. Also, we can talk about cell phone using. Ready? Two of these ones, number 2 and number 4, are actions. Yes. The
Okay.
other two, number 1 and number 3, are not actions, are objects. Ready? So I can say that society has been affected. If I want to use number 2 or number 4, there I can use the expression through. Wait, sorry, through, right? Es a través de el consumismo excesivo, a través de el uso del celular excesivo too. But if I use the others, violence or social media, I can use any of the other expressions by the violence, as a result of social media, due to the violence, cualquiera de las otras, any of the others except for through. Through is going to be reserved for when I am having an action, and that action, of course, it's in ing. Okay?
Okay, perfect.
Really?
Thank
Listo.
you.
Very good. No problem. You're welcome. So in this case, we are going to have 9 problems, but the first one is already done. Let's work a little bit on the vocabulary. Famine. What is the meaning of famine?
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. Hambruna, when the people has nothing to eat, right? When there is no food in a society. Okay. Poverty, we talk about that it's no money at all. Okay. Global warming, you know what is the meaning of global warming?
Calentamiento global.
Excellent,
Mhm.
that's very good. Corruption, easy.
Corrupción.
Cancer,
Mhm.
it's the same as in
Cancer.
Spanish. Political unrest, it means, for example, the feeling that we're having in Colombia that the people do not trust the politicians. It's like
Mhm.
a lack of trust in the politicians. So that's political unrest, okay? I'm going to sneeze, I'm sorry. No, I'm not going to sneeze, that's it. Traffic accidents. Okay, well, it's very clear. Traffic accidents and overpopulation. What is that?
Como sobrepoblación.
Perfecto. That's right. That's right. So in this case, what you have to do is tell me what do you consider that is one of the causes of these problems? Select one, the one that you prefer. Here we have an example which is already with famine, and it says that the famine has been caused by the resource waste. Do you remember what's the meaning of waste?
Eh,
Gastar, como, sí, gasto.
Desperdicio. Ready? Como el waste,
Desperdicio.
desperdicio, exactly. So I'm saying that the famine, la hambruna, has been caused by the resource waste. Okay? So what you gotta do here is select one of the other problems and tell me in your concept, in your perception, what is the cause or what has been the cause of that problem. Ready? Go ahead.
We only need to choose one.
Which is one? That's right.
Okay, I already have.
Tell me, Kari, what about that?
Cancer is being caused uh, as a result of unhealthy food.
Very good. So it's being caused as a result of unhealthy food. Very good. Thank you so much. What about you, Nat?
Global warming has been caused by the garbage or trash. I don't know.
Very good. Well, both could be by
Okay.
garbage. Mhm. Very good. Oh, well, depending if you want to be more specific, you could say waste. For example, plastic waste, organic waste, well, other different kinds of waste, the radioactive waste, no? Yeah, so you can be a little bit more specific, but everything great. So global warming has been caused by the garbage, okay? Now, but these problems, they are also the consequences of other problems, no? So, for example, in this case, let's see, the famine causes an increase on the death rate, right? What is the meaning of death rate?
Y como tasa de muerte, como algo así, ¿no?
Tasa de
Mortalidad.
mortalidad. Exactamente. Very good. So
Eso.
the problem that here was the consequence, here it's the cause. So I could say, for example, that an increase on the death rate has been caused as a result of the famine, right? So sometimes is the problem, sometimes is the consequence, because it's like a chain of problems, no? This is a problem, but it has a consequence in another problems, and it's being caused by other different problems, right? So in this case, choose the same problem that you selected before. So in this case,
Okay.
global warming and cancer, and now do it or use it as the cause of other different problems.
I
But
lost.
with the same, like for example, the unhealthy food,
No, with a different one, because that
a
one,
different one.
exactly,
Okay,
same
perfect.
problem, but different
Okay, let
consequence.
me
Nat, for example,
think about it.
don't worry, Kari. So, for example, Nat, you choose global warming, no? Global warming is being caused as a result of the garbage. The cause of the problem of the global warming, it's the garbage, among other problems, no? But global warming is the cause of other different problems, no? For
Yeah.
example, the earth, no sé, how do you say that? The poles are being melted as a result of the global warming, you know?
Okay.
So something that is being caused or produced as a result of that problem, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Mhm. Mm.
Ready? So what you got so far?
Wait a second.
Don't worry.
Maybe many animals died daily
Exactly.
as a result of global warming.
Perfect. But in that case, don't forget to use the passive voice. For example,
Yeah.
many animals have been endangered. That was the example that the verb that we used
Yeah,
before.
but I forgot the word.
Okay, excellent. So many animals have been endangered, and as a result of, or by, or for the global warming. Excellent. That's a problem that is being caused for that problem. Ready? Perfect. That's right. And Kari, what you got
Okay,
with
I
cancer?
got it. Young people has been died as a result of cancer.
Good. In that case, the word die cannot be used here because I cannot say like han sido muertos,
Died.
but have been
Has
killed,
been
could be, han sido,
killed.
yeah, could be, have been affected, maybe, have been devastated,
Mm,
could be. So young people have been, let's say affected, so we don't sound so terroristic, right? Affected for the
yo en
cancer.
la vida.
Exactly. So have been affected for the cancer, right? So in that
Okay.
case, what we have to focus on is to introducing that being because we are changing the idea, right? Normally we use the subject, the verb, and the complement, but in that case, we are focused on the object. That's why we have to
Mm,
use the passive voice, right?
okay.
How do you feel, my dear girls? Problems, questions, are you a bit more clear?
Yes.
Yeah, it's clear.
Good.
Maybe we
Anyway,
need to practice.
yes, of
Practice.
course.
Yes.
And especially because it is an option. It's not mandatory to use this structure. It's a structure that we have to learn, of course, but you can simply say the global warming is killing a lot of animals, and that's perfectly fine, right? It's simply another option, another alternative that we can learn. Yeah, it's a useful alternative, especially when we don't know the subject of an action, but it's an option. At the end of the day, you can find other different ways to do it. If you don't feel sure about it, if you don't feel comfortable using this way, you can use another different way that you feel more comfortable with. Okay, so don't worry about it. Ready?
Okay.
Now, so before we talk about the cause and the consequence. Now we are going to have another column, which is the column C, in which we have some solutions, some alternative options for those problems. Ready? So please match when we said that the traffic, it's related to pollution, plastic waste with water pollution, visual contamination with visual stress, intolerance with public violence, poverty with the insecurity, corruption with the lack of resources, and anxiety and depression with suicide rates. Now match that problem with a possible solution for that. Okay. Again, using the pencil that is right here, match the problem with a possible solution, please.
Mm,
Let's start.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Public
Mi
violence with
pulso.
alternative, with emotional education. Okay, very good. That's a
Yes.
possibility. See, it could be
Give me a sec.
water pollution with.
We can use also
Oh, no.
suicide rates, emotional education, no?
También, very good. See, suicide rates with emotional education. Public violence with emotional education también, ¿no? Porque es un problema de intolerancia. It's fixable with emotional education. Ahí digamos que no hay una respuesta correcta o incorrecta. Pueden usar varias para diferentes problemas, no problem, right? Entonces Karina dijo suicide rates with emotional education too. Good.
The insecurity advertising police.
Insecurity, pero eso es policies, no police, sino
Policies.
policies.
Policies. This could be, okay, no. For example, we can use corruption is
Okay, water pollution can
lack
be solved or improved by
recycling.
recycling. Good, that's an alternative.
Lack resources, political control.
Yes,
Maybe.
because it's a problem of corruption, no? So the political control maybe can fix the lack of resources.
What is advertising police? Is like, for example, what?
Advertising policies are rules. For
Policy.
example, yes,
Rules.
Like, for example, there cannot be advertising in public roads or in public space.
Okay, visual stress could be.
Exactly, the visual
Could be the
stress with
option.
advertising campaigns, muy bien, o advertising policies.
And
Any
lack
other?
resources, maybe, also.
Lack of resources with what, Nata? Sorry?
With advertising policies or
Could
not?
be, también, sometimes it's affected
Yes.
because, for example, in elections season, there is a lot of waste of resources in advertising policies, no? So if they regulate that, it can help with that. Muy bien.
What is cohabitation campaigns?
Cohabitation campaigns, cohabitation, it's convivencia. So, for example, that could fix the problem of the intolerance by the cohabitation campaigns, no? Like, no, you have to respect the other, help the other people, be a good citizen.
Como
all of this.
grupos así como que charlen sobre.
Exactly.
Okay.
Sobre cohabitabilidad o convivencia, basically, ¿no? Muy bien. ¿Listo? Alternative energies, solar energies o
Maybe water pollution.
maybe water pollution o pollution in general, ¿cierto? Water pollution too, claro, of course, right? Entonces, take into account that here we can introduce also solutions for the problems that we have created before. Before we dedicate to talk about the problems, but here now we can also introduce possible solutions for those problems, right? Now, we are going to have two possibilities to do it depending on the expression that I use, okay? I can introduce expressions with infinitives, like, for example, one way to reduce pollution, for example. One way to reduce pollution. Or we can have other possibility como it's a good idea to, right? Here, one way to reduce pollution also is to. I can have many expressions with to, most of them with the verb to be, right? One way to reduce pollution is to, it is a good idea to, it is important to, right? Or for example, the best way, or the best option, let's change the word, the best option to no sé, to reduce violence is to. It's a double infinitive. That's one possibility, yeah? And in that case, I can introduce the action or the recommendation with a verb in infinitive because it's after to. So for example, one way to reduce pollution is to use alternative energies. the best option to reduce violence is to create cohabitation campaigns or to establish emotional intelligence campaigns, for example, no? But using to and the verb infinitive. That's option number one. The other option is that I use the preposition by and the verb in ing. Okay? In this case, we're going to do it with expressions a little bit different. Expressions, for example, like using the verb can, like you can reduce the pollution by, and then the ing, by using alternative energies. Or for example, we can stop corruption, and then by controlling the politicians or by increasing the political control, right? So normally we can do it, or we can use this expression by and the verb in ing when I say similar to, a través de, similar to through, right? So, but in that case, when I say you can reduce the pollution by and the ing verb for introducing what is the possible solution for that problem, okay? For example, we have one problem that you talk about, and it was global warming. Sorry, global warming. Okay. What can be the best option for or to reduce the global warming? What about you? What do you think?
Maybe the best option to reduce global warming is to recycle.
Very good. It's to recycle more. That's one of the best options to improve the global warming. It's to recycle more. Very good. Since Nata is using to, the verb is recycle in infinitive. What about if she would say, you can reduce the global warming by recycling with ing? Why? Because the preposition is different. This preposition is always followed with ing.
Mhm.
Karina, what do you think? What's one possibility for reducing the global warming?
Global. I don't know if it's right, but using another transport alternatives.
Good. So in that case, if you said using alternative transportation, we gotta do it with the preposition by. So for example, we can reduce, or we can help the planet, or we can
Mhm.
reduce the global warming by using alternative transport. Hmm? Ready?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. What do you think? Questions about it in these expressions? Are they clear? Easy to use?
Clear.
Clear. Very good.
Clear.
Excellent. Very good. So in this case, my dear people, so over here we have, wait. No, no, that's it, that's it. So in this case, we have the different options that you can use it for giving recommendations about this part, ready? So please, well, different from recycling that we already use it, ready?
Mhm.
And different from alternative energies, create one example, all complete, okay? So the water pollution is being caused as a result of the plastic waste, but the best option to reduce the water pollution is to blah, 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 okay? Try to create the general idea using the two parts, the description of the problem and also the possible solution that there is, okay?
Okay, okay.
Right in the chat?
If you
Or
want, yes, or if you want spoken also, it's fine. Or if you
okay.
wanted to write it down in the chat, it's also good, right?
Mm, I can talk right now?
Of course you can. I'm
Yes.
just waiting for you.
I'm not sure, but I'm going to try.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, Intolerance is being caused by public violence. We can reduce to emotional education.
Almost. So I'm going to write it down. Let me just make a couple of corrections, but
Yes.
it's so good. So you said intolerance
Mhm.
is being caused, oh, sorry, caused by public violence. But
Mhm.
I think, Carrie, that it's the other way around. I think it's the other way around.
Public violence is being
Exactly.
caused. Okay, yes, my fault.
So public
Public
violence
violence
is being
is
caused by intolerance. Listo. Hasta ahí, there is a comma because that is the first idea. When we said, oh, culpa mía, it's my bad, right? So, oh, it's my fault, my
my
bad.
bad,
Right.
my
So,
bad.
public violence is being caused by intolerance. Perfecto, right? Now, continue.
We no,
Sí, it's a
yes,
possibility.
we can reduce
Y aquí, reduce what?
reduce the public violence.
Exactly, very good. Yes,
Yes.
claro que sí. So, if I'm talking about public violence, of course, ready? But for not repeating again public violence, I can simply use
Reduce it. No?
exactly, very
Okay.
good, the object pronoun. So we can reduce it.
Uh, to. I don't know if to works in this case. Yes.
In that case, when we have expressions with can, normally we do it with the preposition by.
By
And,
okay. By emotional education.
ok, puede ser by emotional education o the action could be by improving, mejorando, ¿cierto? By improving.
Improving. Oh my God, I understand now.
Exactly, education. Muy bien, that's it. That is the complete idea. So the public violence is being caused by intolerance, okay, but we can reduce it by improving the emotional education. Aquí me faltó education. Muy bien. Nata, what about you, my dear?
Okay, I don't know. Always in an electoral stage,
Mhm.
visual stress has been caused by the politics.
Yeah, very good. Visual stress has been caused, sorry, has been caused by the you
Poli-
said,
Políticos.
yeah, politicians,
Oh, okay, politicians.
politicians.
And we
Uh-huh.
and we can reduce it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel that I miss a word. Reduce it to create new regulations.
Oh, but there is two possibilities. If you want to say that we can reuse it para crear nuevas regulaciones, it's two. But if I say creando nuevas regulaciones, we could use by. Yeah,
By
Ah,
creating.
con
by
razón.
creating
Me sonaba
a
rarísimo.
yes,
Okay.
by creating new
A mí me
regulations.
pasa.
What is the possibility we using two? I can say, bueno, visual stress has been caused by the politicians, and the best way to introduce it, to reduce it, is to create new regulations.
Mm,
Normally, the
Mm,
expressions with to are options with verb to be. It's a good idea, the best way is to, including the verb to be. And when we have these expressions with can, normally we use by to introduce what is the solution. Okay?
okay.
Exactly. Listo, very good. Excellent. So, my dear ladies, questions, difficulties about it so far? No? Is
I
that
So
all
far,
right?
think
so
so.
good.
Very good. So, okay, the purpose of this week, of course, it was talking about the environment, the environment, not only the environment like the ecological part, but also the society, talking about anxiety, depression, politics, talking about insecurity, employment, well, a lot of different social elements, no? But the
Mhm.
grammatical part was using the passive voice for talking about or for emphasizing more on the object and not so much on the subject, right? In the infographic of the week, here, come on, I am still here, yes. In the infographic of the week, we are going to find, yeah, the infographic about what we just work, and also some image here in the part of the news. I am going to have some image for practicing the passive voice, okay? So in this case, I can click it in, right click and out it in another part. And then we are going to find 8 sentences. The idea for practicing more is that you
Mhm.
can translate or transform these sentences into the passive voice. But it's a homework for you. It's a free practice, okay? So
Okay.
read it, and then you try to transform into the passive voice. For example, many people are using TikTok these days. So I transform. TikTok is being used these days for many people, and so much so far. Okay, you can try for practicing and like as a free exercise. Okay,
Okay.
ready? Ready, my dear ladies. So thank you for being here. If you have no questions, nothing. See you the next class. The next class is going to be, I think, on Wednesday too. I don't know, on Tuesday maybe, but it's just one class in the week, number 5. Nata, did you test? Did you try test programming another class?
This week, no, but I can see the next week only my
Ah, no, yes,
actual.
I haven't activated yet, but it's just like a preview, no? I told you that it's going to be on Tuesday,
Okay.
but I haven't
Okay.
activated yet. But did you try finding the mail or nothing? Nothing yet?
No, no, I
It's
can.
too strange.
It's very
It's too strange.
strange. I don't know why.
Okay, don't worry. Well, anyway, well, if you program with me, I send you the link. But if you program with other teacher, then I would have to ask the teacher or something like that. You have to let me know. Si programas con
Okay,
otro profe, me tendrías que contar para pues yo pedirle al profe como el link de acceso. O prueba con otro correo, maybe de pronto el correo de tu esposo o something like that, como para probar cuál es el error. I don't know what's the mistake.
okay, I will
Okay,
try.
ready? Yes. If not, I send you the link of my class, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Listo, my dear ladies. Have a wonderful night, sleep tight, rest, and see you the next week, okay?
You
You
too. Bye bye,
too. Have a
Maria.
Bye bye.
great bye,
Have a good
Nata.
night.
Bye. See you.
Bye.